Hello, bunny. How are you? You want a carrot? Oh, you do. It's such a beautiful day for some work out here in the desert. I'm gonna go ahead and take some of this sand down. Oh,
There's life.
Hello.
I can see life. I might be saved.
How are you?
I'm tired and thirsty.
You're tired and thirsty? Oh, well, I have this water bottle on me.
For days.
There you
Oh
go.
my lord, thank you. Do you have another? Oh.
That's kind of what I have. But I do have this bucket of water that I can actually put down here so you can...
Oh my goodness. So good. So refreshing.
I'm glad that's refreshing and that's helping you. What are you doing out here in the middle of the desert?
I don't know. I went adventuring and I kind of got lost.
Well, I would say this is pretty lost.
Yeah, I don't know where I am.
Well, this is my world here. This is called BrownieLand, and I'm actually working out here, going to be building a Sphinx out here.
Okay. That sounds awesome.
It's actually kind of funny that you came from that direction because you passed my desert city over there. So
I must have missed it.
Yeah.
I
You must have just kind of like snaked around it, but yeah, that's what I'm doing out here. But Gruva, I'm Brownie.
Brownie. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you. You feeling better? If you need a rest, I've got some beds over here that you're more than welcome to.
I should probably make sure that I have a little jump in a bed just to make sure. Okay, so yeah, I'm here now. That's
Awesome.
good.
Awesome.
If anything happens, I'm gonna arrive back here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep this water because this is like nectar.
Well, I'm glad that it's working well for you because I don't want you hurting at all because it's this world is not about hurt. This is about life and fun and building.
Yeah, no, well, see, thank you for the water. Maybe I can help out and help you with this building that you're going to be working on. How about that as an exchange?
Oh, absolutely. I would love some help. You know anything about sphinxes?
They're yeah, a little. They look a bit like a cat at the back and like a woman at the front.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, looks like you've got most of the shape of it already, I think.
Yeah, it's a nice little hill. There's some things that I want to do. Maybe like make this a little bit nicer of a curve than a straight down. But yeah, it's there's some. It's kind of a molehill, as you will, that needs to be a little bit edited. But I think the shape's all there. So.
Well, do you have some stuff that I could borrow? And I'll pay you back in work hours.
Oh, for sure.
How about that?
Yeah, for sure. I've got so this light blue shulker box here actually has a bunch of gear in it.
Look at this. This is ridiculously OP.
Well, you know, anything for my friends.
My goodness. A very OP bow. That's ridiculous. That's fantastic.
Well, enjoy it as you're hunting out here, because it can get a little bit scary in the desert. So.
You mean the bunnies, or?
Yeah, well, I mean the bunnies for sure. The killer bunnies. You got to watch out for them.
The killer bunnies. Oh
yeah.
My. Okay, I will look out for those ones. Oh, and food. Amazing.
Yes. Eat up. Those golden carrots are actually fresh. Very, very fresh.
Oh, I'm feeling so much better.
Good.
Right.
Awesome.
Put some clothes on.
There you go. Well, I think we'll make some plans, and then we'll come back and see where we're at.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, Gruva, I wanted to go ahead and thank you for joining me on this series again. It's a lot of fun to have you on here.
No problem at all.
I built one of your iron farms back in the day in this world, and I actually had a conversation with you back then about how it wasn't working, and I was like, I don't understand why it's not working. And I believe you took one look at it and you're like, oh, it's right here. This is why it's not working.
I mean, this is the thing. It's one of those the one of those designs where one block out of place and that's it, game over. Yeah. But by that time, I'd seen basically every single variation of what could go wrong, so I kind of had a good idea.
But yeah, so it's super nice to have you on, especially since you've contributed to this world without your knowledge.
With iron.
Yes. But yeah, so one of the things of this series is I like to talk, while we do this, I like to talk about where you find your inspiration, how you find your inspiration, what types of builds you enjoy doing, what types of builds you don't enjoy doing. Basically all the normal stuff that you would see when discussing builds and inspiration within Minecraft.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's kind of complicated, but go on, sorry. I don't want to interrupt.
It's all good. The reason I do this is because I like to learn about different build styles and also learn about different ways to find inspiration. Because I think that's the chase that every player in Minecraft has at some point. They're like, okay, so what do I do now? So it's it can be a little challenging, but I think with a nice ooh, you're making a tail.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm just riffing.
Good. I was wondering what you were doing with that spot there, but no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It's got to have a tail.
Yeah, for sure. It's a sphinx.
Yeah.
So I think we'll just start off with a very basic first question, which sounds basic, but you know it can have a lot of layers too. But where do you find your inspiration for this game?
It's I don't know. It's kind of complicated. It's a lot to do with whatever's going on around you at the time. It's got a lot to do with the kinds of things that you're trying to achieve in the game. For me, so you do end up, or for me anyway, I end up working with the things that I'm currently trying to do in game. So. I suppose this is it. We set our design principle for our spawn town on Truly Bedrock, which is the server that I'm playing on right now. And basically we said we're going to have single chunk farms, or not single chunk farms, single chunk builds. So from that, you kind of start thinking, well, I've got to fit this within a chunk, but it can be as tall or as short as I like. And then for me, I start thinking, what's everyone else going to do? And what isn't that?
Yeah.
That's finding the negative space in what people aren't going to do for me. Oops. So yeah, it's that kind of thing. I look at what people are probably going to do and what's in fashion, and then I try and not do that. That's kind of it for me.
That's a fair way to look at it. Because obviously, like, you don't want to be per se copying somebody, but you do want to have your own like little stamp on the builds, as it be. So being able to point out and be like, oh yeah, that's, you know, Gruva's build right there, easily for somebody in the video, or even for you to point out and be like, oh yeah, that right there is my build. It's easy to tell. That's a good way to go about it.
Yeah, I think that's it. For me, that is the way. I always like to think of, well, what aren't people going to do? And for some reason, this season, I also decided upon orange, and it's become a major theme.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, it gets rather silly, but still, I enjoy the laughs with people.
Yes. I definitely enjoy all the fun that you have on your live streams.
Yeah. The live stream's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's very enjoyable, for that matter. We've got a little cave here, it seems. Oh my gosh, it goes way down there.
See, I saw that and I was thinking that could... See, this is about building in the landscape as well. That could almost be part of the crypt. Like, the skeletons come out and attack you.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Like, you've got the protector of the area the Sphinx, and it sends out skeletons to get you.
For sure. I like it.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have to admit, I don't really know what I'm doing here with this Sphinx, but I'm doing it anyway.
It's all good. It's all about trying to figure out something on the fly, which I kind of like to do when I build.
So that's not a bad curve.
What we could possibly do is, whoop, every time.
That's what you do for having OP tools.
I get mad at myself for that. What we could possibly do is like move it back by one, and it'll give it kind of more of a slimmer look to it, if that makes sense.
Okay. I'll have a little sleep whilst I think about that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a fine line, especially with the blocks, the size that we have to deal with. There's a fine line between between just right and way too big.
Yeah. I'm normally quite a small builder. And that's probably a fault in reality, but
Well, I'm the exact opposite. I normally build way too big, so that's probably a fault in and of itself.
That's not looking bad, actually. I think that's probably not a bad sort of place to be.
Yeah, I think that's actually going to kind of give us what we need to.
Oops.
And I think
Yeah.
oh my gosh, my elytra keeps activating on me.
Activates when you don't want it to and doesn't when you do.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of thing?
For sure.
Say out loud. I'm just going to pop out over this void, and that's it. It's definitely not going to open.
For sure. So I'll just kind of move on with this next question.
Sure, go for
we're
it.
doing this. So the next part is, what are your favorite and least favorite build styles to work with? I like we've kind of mentioned, we know you're not a builder per se, but this might give a kind of an interesting take since you're more technical.
I have to admit, I find it really difficult to do the kind of traditional little house type style. You know, there's like a very, very standard Minecraft house that you see built quite a lot. And it's got a very certain pitched roof, and it's made of very particular materials. I can't find. I don't know how to do that. That's my problem.
Well,
I don't know
fair
how.
enough. Well, fair enough indeed on that one.
But yeah, it's a difficult one. I don't know if it's a training thing or if you train yourself to be able to do that.
I don't know if you would necessarily train yourself. I think it depends. Like obviously you're more on the technical side of the game. Whereas with me building, starting off building, that's kind of the first thing I learned with building, was that very stereotypical. I think it's mainly because everybody was doing it. And so it was like, well, how do I do this?
Yeah.
And so I just kind of built, and I think when you're first starting off, it might be the easier way to go about it. But if you've never really like been in that kind of system, I guess you could call it. If you've never really been in that system, you would not necessarily know what to do with that. So I don't know. It's I find it kind of easy, but at the same time, like I've been doing it since I started YouTube.
Yeah.
Which, at this point is nearly 4 years ago. So
Wow.
it's I've been doing it for a little while.
Yeah.
So I can claim that it's easy, but I don't remember how hard it was to learn that. If that makes any sense.
It does. I'm just thinking, because I think for me, I'm extremely practical when it comes to building, and I force myself to actually build things that are just decorative. And it is a very considered thing. It's definitely, I am going to go and build something decorative now.
Yeah.
Rather than I'm tend to get into the. I spend too much time. I'm trying to say words. It's not working. I spend too much time just like I am going to build a farm, and that is what I'm going to do. That is what I do. Gruva builds farms, and I never decorate, which I should. But I'm getting better.
I know. I'm definitely enjoying your Truly Bedrock series. So if that makes you feel any better.
It does. Thank you. I'm glad. You should have a big round back leg, and that's not a very big round back leg.
So this the foot looks all right. I think what I'm going to do though is add. Whoops. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to sleep. I tried to click on the stone cutter, but obviously that worked for me. Oh well. What I was gonna do was put slabs on the top of that, because in the picture that I'm looking at, and in fact the picture that I'm looking at, the tail actually goes the opposite direction that we've got it going, which is not that big of a deal. This is totally fine the way it is. I'm fine with the tail kind of curving around to give it a little bit different. That feels a little bit better. What if we do why don't we do a stair instead, and bring it down one actually?
Okay.
Because I think that's the big hang up for me, at least, is that feels a little too big at that point.
So bring it down one like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of feels like it's sloping down a little bit more. Oh, and then actually, you know what? This actually feels a little too thick now that that's like that. Oh, that looks so much better. That's what it was. Oh my gosh, I just fell down a hole. So that's
perfect.
that. Yeah, that's that hang up. Sometimes all it takes is changing one block.
I think that's the thing. 1 or 2 blocks here and there, and it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this needs to go.
Yes. Well,
Right.
I thank you so much again for joining me. So where can people find you? I know we've kind of talked a little bit about that stuff, but
well, mostly people will find me on Truly Bedrock server, which is I don't know. I release at the moment. I'm releasing 2 videos a week, and I'm streaming a heck of a lot as well. So
for sure,
just look up Gruva, and you might find me. You should find me. You might find some gold mines in Sweden as well, but you should find me if you're looking at Minecraft.
There you go. I'll also leave all the links to everywhere you can find Gruva down below in the description. That way it's an easy find, but definitely go check him out. Like I said, I've been watching for a while, and I feel honored to have you join me for the series. So
thank you for inviting me and showing me your world. You've done a lot of work here. A lot more than I've ever done in the world. So.
It's my baby. It's turned into my baby. So, well, thank you again. And guys, if you guys want to check out more of this series, make sure you hit that like button, as well as hitting that subscribe button and turning on that notification bell. Goodness gracious, I just terrible today. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me and Gruva, and we will see you in the next episode.